So this video is going to demonstrate how to apply an ear bandage. Wounds to the ears are relatively common, particularly in dogs. They tend to get it caught on things like barbed wire, or if they're involved in a scrap with another dog or a dog fight, then the ears are obviously easily injured. Ear wounds do tend to bleed quite a lot. One of the reasons for this is because of gravity. So if they have downward pointing ears like this, then of course the blood will flow downwards. The other reason why they tend to bleed a lot is that they don't clot very well. The animal is constantly moving its head. What tends to happen with a wound is the blood will flow downwards into the ear canal. When it does, the animal is irritated by it and they'll simply shake their head, thereby the ear flapping about. Now when this happens, first of all there's a lot of blood everywhere, which can be very messy, but more importantly it simply prevents the wound from clotting naturally. And if the blood isn't clotting, then it's continuing to bleed. So we really must intervene as soon as possible. As a first aider, your intervention is really important. What you can do with an ear wound is dress it, bandage it, make it secure, enough to be able to get it to a vet so that it can be treated by the veterinary team. So it's really important that you're able to do this. Now, ear bandages are difficult. They're probably the most difficult type of bandage that you can do. First of all, animals, in particular dogs, don't like their ears being touched, so they can often be uncooperative. So if you do have somebody available to help you, then use their help to restraining the animal, or to hold the head, or simply just to talk to the animal calmly. So if you have help, great. If not, the best thing you can do is practice. So practice following the technique I'm about to show you, either on your own pet dog, or if you have a similar demo dog like this. Because if you practice, you'll become more confident, and if you're more confident, you'll be able to do it quicker, thereby creating less stress to the animal. So let's consider the layers of bandaging. Now, first of all, when you have an injured ear like this, you're going to place it up onto the head. This is to help stem the flow of blood, and it keeps the ear more secure. To do this though, we're going to place a layer of soft band material, this is the cotton wool layer, in between the ear and the head, like this. This means the ear, if it were to move, wouldn't rub against the head, and it's simply more comfortable for the animal. If you can, apply an absorbent gauze or dressing to the wound site. Now, it's best to try and use the correct size. These dressings tend to be quite big, so if you have time, cut it down to size and place that onto the wound site. And we're then going to place another layer of soft band cotton wool material over the top of that dressing. So we've now got a layer of cotton wool, the ear folded over, an absorbent dressing, and then some more padding cotton wool on top. So we're now ready to apply our conforming bandage. This is our secondary layer, and as usual we're going to keep it rolled up. As we apply it, we're going to start at the ear, and we're going to move it round behind the uninjured ear and back round, and then in front of the uninjured ear. And you keep doing this so it's a bit like a figure of 8 motion. Now, as you do this, you need to consider how tight it is. You don't want it too tight that it prevents the animal from opening its mouth. We still want it to breathe, we still want it to be able to drink water, but obviously it's got to be tight enough to ensure that the bandage stays on. The animal will potentially try and shake its head, but it will also try and paw at it as well. So making sure that it's secure as possible is really important. When you get to the end, we're just going to tuck that in there, and then we have a secure bandage. Now you could apply a tertiary layer or an adhesive bandage on top, but to be honest, with an ear bandage it's not really necessary. This is a temporary bandage. At this point you're going to ensure the animal is fit enough and comfortable enough to be transported to a vet, and you'll get them to a vet who will simply remove the bandage straight away. Never worry about what the bandage looks like, as long as it is serving the purpose of stemming the flow of blood and protecting the wound. Always make sure the animal is comfortable, and then you're simply ready to go and get them to a vet as soon as possible. One final thing to do is to mark where the ear is. So we placed the ear up on top of the head, so I'm going to draw an arrow like this. So when we take our patient to the vet the veterinary team can see exactly where the ear is placed under the bandage. So when they go in with their scissors, they're not going to go in where the ear is. And we're ready to take this animal to the vet.